Hey YouTube, do forgive the sunglasses. It is not to hide anything. It's sunny, very sunny. Alright, welcome back to my channel. Greetings to you all. Thank you to all our new and old existing subscribers. Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I am out here in beautiful nature, making the most of it. So today there is no update per se of anything specific, but I did want to share with you what my locks are looking like at this point. They are practically all joined up, all of them. All of the pieces are all joined up. Every single one is joined to another one somewhere. Yeah, so they're all joined. Let's see, all of them, something is joined somewhere with something else, or the webbing on the pieces. It's just coming along nicely. So I also wanted to use this video to just have a chat about to separate or not to separate. I don't separate, but there has been times where I have, what's the right word I'm looking for? I'm unconsciously, in the early days, playing around. I think it was this part, I played around in it so much and it kind of looked different to this side. It kind of had a lot of straggly pieces, looked like it was separated, deliberately separated, but that was just me playing around. And I think there were a few times I got my finger caught in there and I can hear trrr. But to separate or to not separate, for me, I would say that separate in those situations where there is an absolute necessity for it. So a good example would be, sometimes you get pieces that get caught on each other or actually are joining together, but causes some sort of tension or pain or discomfort or pulling on your scalp. Just take your finger and just give it a nice little roughy shaky thing, and you can separate it, or literally just go separate it if it makes you uncomfortable. Yeah, and sometimes you get those pieces. So I would say that's a good example of when to separate. I think a time or a good example of when not to separate, if you do want to freeform and let it do its thing, is when it's joining, when pieces want to join and we go in and forcefully separate them. Let me give you an example. This part where I played around with it a lot in the early days, which literally was separating them, if you think about it, this part you can still see it's still got a lot more definition than anywhere else on my head. But even with that, the pieces still joined together. They still came back to join together. And for me, that signifies that sometimes the head doesn't want to be separated. There's pieces that you try to separate, they will come back together. You keep separating, then they come back together. Tell me if you have a lock like that you separated so many times and they've come back together. So that pretty much is it. So most of mine are attached. Yeah, most of mine are attached. And again, just to round off, I really can't afford to be separating. I think the webbing is going to give me the extra volume. The frizziness, the in-between growths will give me the extra volume. But if I start separating, it would even make my hair look much more thinner and finer than it already is. So thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, and asking questions. I appreciate it. I'm not the expert, but I share what I do. My name is Deborah of Nonconformist Eyewear. I do all things nonconformism when it comes to my lifestyle, well-being, and of course my second set of freeform looks. Until next time, blessings, and I'll see you soon. So yes, I am coming to you from the smiling coast of Africa, the Gambia. Alright, I'll see you soon. Bye.